Hey, Stack Exchange. I know everyone starts out with, hey, I fucking hate that. Um, but let's just overlook that for a second. You see this scene a few dozen times on Stack Exchange. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to get done with it. Like, here's where I'm at, okay? I have 3 random items that can spat out, and they will successfully be put in my inventory. Unfortunately, there's the turd that you've all seen a million times, but here I'm recording it to see what's going in my inventory. There it is. There's the turd. If I do it again, I'll get something else probably. 2/3 chance. Yep, see there's a mushroom. I also have a star, okay? So I have no trouble getting that thing and putting it in my inventory. The trouble comes when I change scenes. And yes, I'm aware that this can be a problem and there are solutions to this problem. Problem is I just can't quite hack it. So when I load this scene, you see I get an all reference exception, which tells me that the item list in the inventory script it no longer exists. Which is kind of funny because I thought that I made inventory a static. Oh, I thought I made it a singleton of sorts. I'll show you in a second. Anyhow, I'm gonna have to get out of this mode to show you the game. Hang on a second. Go back to OBS. Switch to scene 2, which will show you my entire screen. All right, so check it out here. I got this game manager, right? And the game manager has an inventory script, right? So the inventory script has a don't destroy on load on it. So when I start, it's got an itemless thingamawhat, and its size is 0. So if you look here, inventory, there it is. You can see I got some boilerplate singleton stuff. Maybe it's not correct. Anyway, this problem here that I'm having is that this thing apparently doesn't exist anymore, which could mean this class doesn't exist anymore. We'll get to that in a second. I'm going to post this on Stack Exchange, so don't worry if you can't digest all this right this moment. But the inventory class and the item box, they're both going up. Okay, so here you go. Item list add item. Okay, so that gets called by item box. Item box is clearly the treasure chest. So I have attached this. I have private variables. They're serialized. I have the list of items, the 3 objects, which are right here. Here. See where it says item box? It's got a parent, and then for that thing, I have the script attached to it. Don't ask too many questions. I don't necessarily have answers. I started this when I was very naive. So here's my 3 items that are randomly selected by the script. I'll show you how that's done. Oh, and I have a reference to my game manager, which is again right here. Okay. So going down here, it plays the item state when the character punches it. That's the on collider other with the player being the tag, very standard. It generates a random integer 0, 1, or 2, and based on that, that's the index it's getting to instantiate the item. Now, what it's looking for when it just spits out the graphic is just this get prefab component. So when you look at these items here, I don't think this is the most important thing, but maybe it'd be helpful anyway. I have items with the prefix item, a prefix icon, and a prefix get. Okay, so the icons are really just sprites on empties. Sprites on empties. Here are the sprites. They are literally 2D sprites. Okay, so I wanted to have a situation where I could immediately access and move around the sprite. Then I wanted a situation where I can immediately access and play around with the animated version of that sprite, which is what this is. Okay, these are just game objects. All 3 of these are game objects, but notice that these items, game objects, they actually have the item script on them. Okay, and they have all these properties. Here's the turd item. It's got an ID of 2. It's got a name, misleading, chocolate mousse. A description, a treat you shouldn't keep to yourself. I'm going to change all this garbage. And then here's a list of the graphics, the other game objects associated with it, right? It's got the avatar, which is the sprite, period. It's got the icon, which is just the sprite I can move around in space without having to set it up programmatically. And then it's got that get animation. That's this guy, or it's this guy for the turd. Get it? And then it's got some properties that will be used in a battle situation, right? Some deltas that'll change character stats. Anyhow, going back here to the scene. Okay, so I'm out of the script. Right here, I just need this thing to pop up, and in fact, you'll see I just move it this far above the box, and it plays the animation. That's all that happens. Okay, and then after 1.6 seconds or frames rather, 1.6 seconds. After 1.6, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. 1.6 seconds, it gets destroyed. Okay, so this may also be one of the problems. Maybe I don't understand quite what is being destroyed. Maybe what I'm destroying is not the thing that needs to be destroyed. I'm not saying that's what's causing it not to exist. I'm just thinking maybe there's some extra stuff lying around. Anyhow, here's the game manager. I'm getting the component, the inventory script component, right? And I'm adding an item. I'm using the add item method, which is for that item list, right? Up here. Yep, see public game object item list. Add appends the item list. See? So I'm saying instantiate items random in. So it's using the index here to generate one of those three items attached. Okay, and then when that's done, it destroys item object. We already saw at the conclusion of getting that item though. In fact, we'll just take a look down here. I'll clear this because we don't need to see this right now. It's just going to happen again anyway. We're going to watch it happen in real time. I don't want this to be full screen though, because we're going to take a look right here where it says game manager and scene transition and all that. Okay, so don't destroy on load is the game manager, as it should be. So if I go under here and I jump, I get the mushroom, and you can see the mushroom is clearly not in don't destroy on load, and maybe that's symptomatic of the problem, right? Because I'm thinking, well, it's part of this script that's attached to the game manager, so it shouldn't be destroyed on load. You can see it right there, item mushroom clone. So how do I make this thing not be destroyed on load? Is what I'm getting at. I mean, that's what this whole thing is. Check it out. If I go up here, I load the scene again. Looking down here, poof. So I brought the game manager with me, but look, it's missing element 0. Why? The variable item list of inventory doesn't exist anymore. How can I fix that? If you think I'm doing this a really stupid way and you just have to get it off your chest that I need to do this a better way, I'm totally fine with that. I'm assuming that there's just a little extra bit I can do here to salvage what I'm doing right now. And this is not the first time or the first way I've done this either. I was redirected by an instructor just today, and I completely redid some work that I had already done that I thought was just brilliant, but apparently not so. So if you have any ideas about how to fix this problem, please let me know. But thank you as always for your help. That is all.